So next up is someone who likes football, PE and astronomy, loves pizza and chocolate, not together I guess, and not dark chocolate, yes. And he really dislikes Marmite, which I am completely on your side with. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Josh Thomas from Wayne School. Josh, over to you.
How big do you think the Earth is? Well, you'll be surprised of how small the Earth is in comparison to other things in our universe. To put this in perspective, the Earth is 14,000 kilometers in diameter. But then Jupiter has a diameter of 140,000 kilometers in diameter. But then the Sun has a diameter of 1.4 million kilometers in diameter. But is that big? Well, if the Sun was a beach ball, Jupiter would be a golf ball, and Earth would be a pea. But we can still go much larger than the Sun. You see, the largest star that we have discovered is called UI Scuti. This has a diameter of 1.5 billion kilometers. However, we can still go a lot bigger than that. You see, UI Scuti is one of the 100 billion stars in our Milky Way. How big's the Milky Way? Well, the Milky Way is 1 quintillion kilometers in diameter. That's equivalent to 100,000 light years. But then, we can still go so much bigger. You see, there is 100 billion, which is increasing to 200 billion galaxies in our universe. How big's the universe? Well, the universe is still expanding, but our measurement of the universe is 93 billion light years in diameter. That's huge. But then you can also say the Earth is absolutely massive. You see, a meter you may think is small, but then 1,000 times smaller than a meter is a millimeter. 1,000 times smaller than a millimeter is a micrometer. 100 micrometers is the smallest the human eye can see. 1,000 times smaller than a micrometer is a nanometer. 1,000 times smaller than a nanometer is a pictometer. 1,000 times smaller than a pictometer is a femtometer. 1,000 times smaller than a femtometer is an atometer. 1,000 times smaller than an atometer is a yoctometer. And 1,000 times smaller than a yoctometer is a zeptometer. Now, but 62.5 billion times smaller than that is a Planck length. And this is the smallest possible measurement that we can go to. So I've got a challenge for you. Can you measure the observable universe in Planck lengths, but do we live in a multi-universe? Thank you.
Josh, my head's just exploded at the potential. That was phenomenal. Gwen, you want to start?
Well, Josh, I think I'll be contemplating that question for quite some time, and I might have to come back to you to just check some of my facts again. I think you did a really good job. You had the great use when you started of your hands, the great use of the props that you've got, and I can see that you do actually have a P there, which is great. I think the emphasis that you put on firstly painting the picture of things big, and then painting the picture of things small, posing questions and then giving really clear answers was really, really good. And I think you're ever so clever to remember all of those, all the terms and terminology, and I think in the right order, although there may be a few that I don't even know. So I think you did a really, really good job of that. And I'm with you, I don't like Marmite either. So
you can't let that swing you. No. Who would like to ask a question? Joe, you got a question?
Yeah, again, well done. You really kept us going with asking questions and then giving the answer. It broke it up really nicely. I have to ask though, in preparing things, how did you remember all of those facts and figures and in the well, I'm assuming is the correct order?
Well, I have actually been interested in the topic for quite a long time, since like year 6, 5. So it's just there in my head. So I've looked at like the scale of when it goes down, of how small, when it goes down, and I just remember it off by heart, to be honest.
Well done.
Yeah.
It's a great skill. And also, Josh, I should say, one thing that makes a great presentation is changing the volume of your voice and pulling people in. And there was a bit in the middle there when you just lowered your voice like this, and we all were there. We were all with you. That was masterstroke. Thank you so much. Huge round of applause. Yes, he did just pee on the stage.